Hi guys, I'm Nagadir-chan, and welcome to my review for Goblin Slayer. Mostly manga, but I will be comparing it to anime a bit. Goblin Slayer is, well, there was this controversy which I really don't understand because you have like dark themes or dark stories depicting evil things or evil beings doing evil things. There's apparently also a problem with over-sexualization of the scene. It was gruesome, yes, but I never felt like they were trying to portray it as anything pleasing. Is it because girls are naked in distorted positions? It shows their vulnerability and lack of control, which kind of fits perfectly with the scene. So I don't know. I probably would never understand this, I guess. So yeah, I wouldn't be focusing on that. I'll be focusing on manga. And I will start with art. Art in manga is, oh my god, so amazing. Very detailed, like very detailed. Like there's so many details in art of the manga because like sometimes I was watching panels and noticing like small little things in the background. I was like, wow, this person who is drawing it really is like drawing every little freaking goblin. Like even in a characters like in way in the back, the author gives them like a lot of details which I usually don't see in manga, but like this is not a weekly manga, so it makes sense he has more time to spend on details. What I really like about the style is the lining, which is kinda erratic and it gives the art a little bit more raw feeling to it, which fits with the like dark mood. I really love it. And like the raw lines, erratic lines, which it's like it's not one huge line, not very clean. And I do really love not clean art style. Okay, Ghoul, for example. So it gives like more depth to the art, and I really enjoy it. Though sometimes it feels a little bit over detailed because when action is happening, it's very hectic with action because all the freaking goblins, everything has details. So sometimes I got a little bit lost in like all the details. So like I needed to stop for a while and like actually look at what I'm reading. Yeah, I just needed to pay more attention. It's not like your normal shonen, which like yeah, some shonens are detailed, but not that much. They don't have time to like do as many details as like in manga, which they made. I think this is like monthly. So yeah, that's a difference, big difference. And also, I think what I noticed the most is facial expressions, which are also very detailed, like very small facial expressions, which told you exactly what the character is thinking. And like, there was no need for freaking text, and I love that because just looking at the characters, I had kind of idea what they're thinking or how they're feeling. Really good. I really like that because it helped to characterize the characters. Like in visuals, manga is amazingly well done. And there are like few colorful pages here and there. And it really surprised me that the colors are quite vibrant. Even though I would say it had that kind of like alt RPG, D&D feeling to it. Like the colors are like there are a lot of colorful colors, but anime in visuals are I feel like more darker. Like it has extremely dark visuals, not that colorful. I feel like, yeah, but there is nothing wrong about that. It has different kind of feels. So that's about art and visuals. Story is, well, you might think it's about Goblin Slayer slaying goblins, which is true, but not exactly, kinda, because I really like that through the story, like they were fighting more and more advanced enemies. Like they started with like normal goblins, and then there was like Goblin Shaman and Goblin Lord, and like well, before that Hobgoblins, I think, and Goblin Paladin and Dark Elves, and these kind of things. So it's gradually kind of the enemies, or the main enemy, is getting kind of stronger and stronger. So I wonder where that will be going, and it's very interesting, like what will be the next enemy, how strong they will be, and that's so interesting to watch. Like normally you would think goblins are kind of boring enemies, but in this manga they are not boring. They're not intelligent, but they're not dumb. And I love that. Even though goblins kinda are getting more and more clever, like the Goblin Paladin kinda freaked me out. Like, okay, that's kinda scary when Goblin can be so smart and actually using magic. I don't like that. I don't like where this is going. Like, will our party be able to manage what's in the future? Because if goblins will be graduating this fast, who knows how like strong enemy there will be. Even though this is about slaying goblins, there is like this, I would say, background story about dark lords and such. And even though there is not that much focus on it, it's kind of make me feel very unnervous, because there is like some kind of plot of dark lord or dark gods or whatever in the background, and it really makes me feel not good, because it's because of them, I guess, that goblins are getting stronger and stronger. So who knows, like, whatever danger the party will be facing in the future, and that's like what keeps you on a toes. And that's great, even though it's not the main focus, it's still happening. So like, yeah, I'm really liking that. It's just really good. So even though the story is not like somehow complicated, there is still at least something which is happening, not just goblin slaying. Right? But I must say that anime and manga have kind of different order of the things, and I don't really know if like anime is based on light novel, if light novel and manga like are different or not. Like, why is the order in anime different than in manga? Can someone tell me why? Or it's just like they just chose it because whatever. I don't really know, but I do really prefer order of the things in anime. It felt like it graduated better, and it made characters kind of look better. The progression felt a little bit better than in manga, because in manga it happened, everything was happening extremely fast, maybe too fast. So it kind of took a time for me to like feel the characterization, but in anime it was gradually progressing, and I really loved that. Like, this thing they did in anime better, I feel like. Yeah, because in manga it felt just too fast, and I don't like when they're doing things like this. But after the anime ended, between movie and anime, there is one arc in manga, which kinda continues with that nice graduation of characterization, and I really like that one. I think, yeah, I think my most favorite arc is the movie arc, and second favorite is a Dark Elf arc, because the way how everything connected was really feeling nice. And there was like a Dark Elf. Oh my god, that's such a amazing villain, and like all the shit about it, and I'm like, oh my god, it was cool, the fight and the magic and like the tactics, or like how they were thinking how to take him down. That was really cool. It kind of showed us like how crazy things can be happening in the future, which I'm kind of scared of. Like, ooh, we are kind of upgrading too fast. Yeah, and actually the Dark Elf arc had significance bigger than it seemed. So maybe it like will have more significance also. So these two last arcs flowed very well. Yeah, so I think that's all about Kana story. The characters. Characters are done, I feel like, I mean, in anime they are done nicely, especially at the start, because the characterization progress felt better. But in manga, like I said, there are more facial expressions, very small ones, but just like it gives a lot. And there is more informations about the characters. For example, the party at the start. In anime, I kinda didn't care about them. Like, I even didn't feel sorry for them because I was like, yeah, they're stupid. Like, come on. But in manga, actually, it gave them like tiny little bit of past flashbacks, and even like that little made me actually feel sorry for them. I was like, oh my god, I didn't really feel this when I was watching anime. I didn't expect that. Like, come on. It was just like just tiny little bit, but it still made me feel sorry for them, and that's a lot. That completely changes the like it changes a lot how I felt about all of that like starting arc, and even about the priestess, how she felt later on, because it made a bigger impact. Yeah, so manga handles this way better than anime. And like not only that, but like they even gave um some flashback to the Goblin Lord. It's like in the last arc, last two episodes. He's in the last two episodes of anime. In anime, I don't even think he had like much words. Like he wasn't talking even much. But in manga, he was talking a lot, and like he had some inner thoughts and such, and flashbacks, and that actually like made him into way deeper character than he's portrayed in anime. It actually gave him some kind of personality, and I kind of even actually understood why he is doing what he is doing. Even though, like, yeah, Goblin Slayer just slay them all because they're shitty beings, but still, it kind of made me feel a little bit sorry. And it wasn't in anime. It wasn't portrayed like this, that even though the goblins are horrible creatures, they have feelings, they have thoughts, and like they have stories and such, which it was portrayed in manga. Not like super extremely deeply, but in a way that it made me understood the character and felt a little bit sorry for them, even though he definitely deserved to be killed horribly. And that's good because for me to enjoy things, I need to like enjoy the characters. So giving depth to characters makes me enjoy things more. So this is what I really loved about or love about manga. So yeah, manga is very good at this. And I think I don't know, I think I saw it somewhere that someone was saying that the characters are like 2D, they don't have any kind of personality, there is no personality progress. I'm like, what the hell are you saying? What the frick? Did you not notice? Like, both Goblin Slayer and Priestess, which are like the main characters of this, even though later on there are other characters coming, they have progress. The only thing is that it's subtle. More subtle in like Goblin Slayer's case. You know, the character progression doesn't punch you in the face in this one. But I feel like people misinterpret character progression with character traits. And I really hate that because, you know, you have character. and for example that character is shy or that character just doesn't talk much. But like character progression doesn't mean that the characters will start talking a lot or that other character will not be shy. Doesn't 100% mean that's a character progression. They can still be shy, but progress in a different kind of way. You know, so Goblin Slayer is still kind of not much talkative, but he's slowly changing. He's slowly socializing. Oh my god, that surprised me so much that he's now like still in his own kind of way, you know, but talking to people a bit more than before. And like kind of interested in different things than slaying goblins, you know, in his own way. So the interest is tiny, very tiny, but like he's willing to talk about different things than goblins and showing interest in different things than goblins in his own Goblin Slayer way. You know, it's very minimal, but it's still there. And I feel like that's a huge character progression for Goblin Slayer. Subtle one, because you need to look, you need to pay attention how the Goblin Slayer acts. It's very it's very small, but it's very noticeable in manga because good facial expressions, even like body language, I feel like. So yeah, same with Priestess, she progressed way more. Actually, her progression was kind of fast because like she at the start was scared. Like at the start she couldn't do basically anything, but now she can take care of herself. Like of course she's not super crazy badass, but like Goblin Slayer believes in her and he believes in her abilities and like in her understanding the situation and like doing things according to that. Of course, again, like I said, it's not very huge. It's kind of very small, but it's there, and for me, it feels realistic. People just don't change like this immediately. It takes time, especially for Goblin Slayer, because what happened to him, and that he just doesn't talk much. So of course, the change would be very small, and it would take a lot of time. So for me, this is very realistic. I just don't understand why people can get it. So yeah, the subtle progression is really enjoyable, and I really like it. The other characters, what I do really like about side characters is that even though story is not focused on them, there is still like they still have a story which continues through the manga. You probably only see like few panels here, few panels there, but like yeah, it's there. It's better than nothing, and I do really enjoy it. For example, Guts 2.0, he is teaching other adventurers, and he helped Goblin Slayer with a raid, and he's having like this cute kinda relationship with the I think chick in his group. So yeah, it's kind of slowly progressing. Then we have Lancer, who is kind of hitting on a guild girl. So who knows where that will go. There's a witch. She still didn't have that much. Yeah, she was in a raid like most of the adventurers, but she knows Goblin Slayer. So I wonder if there will be like their past tackled a little bit. Then we have Sword Maiden, who actually was kind of huge point of a one story arc because of her kind of past and what happened, and like why this problem is happening and why she called the Goblin Slayer. And actually later on she again called him to uh for another quest. So yeah, like these characters are still appearing. We have a guild girl who do I really love. She's like one of the best side characters because she's very kind, she's very nice, she's trying to help the others. she's helping Goblin Slayer with his like with the quests. She knows what he wants, so she's really helping him, and she has a crush on him. And I ship them, like, for real. I ship them. Every moment she spends with him, I'm just glad for that. We'll see where that will be going. Like, even though she's not a fighter, she's a very important part of the story, and I really love it. There is Farm Girl, who is old childhood friend of Goblin Slayer, and she's there for him, like kind of glad that he's socializing slowly. Like all these characters, yeah, they are not main focus, but still like they're kind of progressing with the story, and I like it despite the fact that they are not that important, or some of them are not that important. They are still there. Then we have like the group Goblin Slayer is in, like his party members, the dwarf, elf, and lizard man. I really like them. I really enjoy bonding they had in anime. That was like really cool episode, and they all have like very useful abilities and magic, and I I enjoy the banter between dwarf and elf probably the most. I mean, who doesn't enjoy their share of dwarf elves banters, right? So yeah, all these side characters have personalities. They're just not static. They're kind of progressing. They are being influenced, not that much, but it's still happening. So it's really cool to especially watch it in a manga where there is a lot of focus on it. Well, more focus on it than in anime, where I don't think it was like that much. But yeah, in manga there are a few panels of things here and there, even though it's very small panels. You can notice it, and yeah, it just makes things a little bit different and better. Well, I was talking about anime, so music and anime is absolute perfection. I really loved opening. Oh my god. And it made me to look at Millie, and now I'm a huge fan. And I do really like her their other songs. So yeah, thank you very much, Goblin Slayer. And soundtrack is amazing. Like it has a lot of kind of fantasy RPG feeling songs or themes, and there is something like way grittier, which hits you hard, like something which escaped kind of from a Doom or was inspired by it, which I don't really mind. So yeah, definitely really cool soundtrack. So far for me, it's 7.5 out of 10. So it's the same as anime, even though the movie arc is 8 out of 10. And I'm kind of interested in this new arc, what will be happening. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely like definitely check it out. There is a lot of gore, which I enjoy. There are kind of fun characters with nice progression, slow but steady, which I do really enjoy. There is not much focus on world building, but it's there, and it's concerning me. And yeah, there are some disturbing things, but like they definitely make sense within the universe. I don't understand the problems of the people with it. Like I've said, evil beings doing evil things makes sense. Like, oh my god, unacceptable, I guess. Goblin Slayer is not, of course, Goblin Slayer is like not super multi-layered or anything, but for story and characters. But like, even if it is not, doesn't mean it's not enjoyable. I don't think every story needs to be like super extremely deep with some extremely amazing one in the 10 years message or whatever. Like, I don't understand sometimes people. Enjoyable things doesn't need to be extremely deep or whatever. Like Marvel movies are enjoyable and they're Not very deep, but they're enjoyable, they're fun, and Goblin Slayer is exactly that. It's fun. There's some depth for both story and the characters, but like, yeah, nothing extremely multifaceted, layered, but I like it. I enjoy it. It has cool action, cool gore, nice waifus, nice husbandas. I mean, Goblin Slayer is a freaking husbando. And I love how clever he is, how cleverly he does things. Yeah, that's actually very satisfying. Him doing the fighting in a clever way. Very, very satisfying. Extremely satisfying. And all the girls are beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, come on. Like, Priestess is cool girl and Sword Maiden is cool girl. They are very hot. And Goblin Slayer is very hot too. So I don't mind it. I mean, watching hot people, like, why should I be complaining, right? So that's plus two. And manga, even though it started kinda not in the best way, is definitely getting better now. And it has a lot of interesting details and information which anime doesn't have. So I'm wondering how is the light novel? What is the difference? There is probably more details, interesting, juicy details, I guess. So maybe sometimes I will, I don't know, do review for that too if I ever get a copy or something. And I feel like time to time I might be reviewing arcs, though it will take a time because the chapters are being published, I think, monthly. So yeah, but I might do occasional reviews of by arcs or maybe two arcs at once, depends on how long they will be. Definitely very enjoyable, dark, cool story with badass Goblin Slayer. So I guess that's all. Goodbye and see you next time.